Good morning and hello there. Welcome to the Rolling Highlands in the New Scotland map. My name is Justin and welcome to my first Zwift video. I am a 30-year-old family doctor living in Bodegraven, the Netherlands, together with my wife, and I've been using Zwift for 2 months now. In this period, I've entered 16 races so far. I started out in the D category, but after a few races, I got promoted to C category. And at this stage, I am trying to get a top 10 in a C category race. And if I'm lucky, maybe I can get a podium or even a first spot. So let's get this race started. First, I'll introduce myself a little bit and then I'll tell a bit more about the Rolling Highlands race that I'm currently competing in. As I mentioned, I'm 13 years old. I'm from the Netherlands, so I'm a big Dutch guy. My weight is currently 84 kilograms or 185 pounds, and my length is 1 meter and 92 centimeter or 6 foot 3 inches. My current 20-minute power is 272 watts, which equals to 3.2 watts per kilogram. And at this moment I'm quite content with that, but I would like to see some improvements to get on the podium of the C category race.
Ride on!
So the Rolling Highlands race is the first stage in this month's e-racing event, which features all the new routes in Scotland. This race is 14 kilometers long with 77 meters of altitude, which is not that much. It features 3 punchy hills with some rolling flats in between, and the finish is at the top of the last hill, which is 600 meters long at 2.4% of incline. I've done this race already once this week, and then I underestimated the length of the final hill. I thought it was shorter, so I waited too long to start my final search, which resulted in the 13th place, the 13th position, according to the Zpower rankings. Today my goal is to stick with the front pack for all of the race, push it hard on the second hill in the little castle, and start my final search, my final sprint a bit earlier on the last hill. Hopefully I can achieve a top 10 position in this race and maybe even better. So the race itself, the first few kilometers aren't that exciting. It's a general downhill for the first 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers or so. So I'll fast forward a little bit to when something's happening in the race. When you exit the roundabout at 2.8 kilometers, there's a little spicy hill which goes up to 4-5%. It's not enough to make or break the race, or it's also way too early to make the race, but if you're not paying attention, you might get dropped from the back of the peloton. And in this race, I believe it also actually happened that 2 or 3 riders were dropped from the peloton in this little spicy hill. 2 riders attacked from the front, but the peloton soon caught them, so there were no problems here. Next we rode a few kilometers, 1 or 2 kilometers through some foresty area, and then we reached the first hill, the first bigger hill, the Bray segment. It's 600 meters long, 2.4%, so that's about 15 meters of altitude, and it's a bit of a phased climb. There was a little incline just before this, and then just around the corner it gets a bit steeper, 5%, 6%, and yeah, you have to accelerate a little bit to keep up. This hill is the same hill as the final one, so it flattens out a little bit at this point. And then there is a small incline again over here, and then at the castle wall that you see in the distance, this is where the finish is. So the segment itself, it starts at the bottom, and it takes around 1 minute for a CCAT rider to get up this hill. So I went up yeah, quite easily this first try, a bit sweaty, so I had to take care of that. But yeah, I'm still in the front group. This cracked the peloton open quite a bit. And there were also three guys going on the front. So one guy is going on the front. You see somebody attacking, and the peloton is not yet, but is going to speed up a little bit to catch the riders up front. Um, I believe, yeah, if I see this peloton, we're also are going to get caught by the second group that is straggling behind because we're recovering from the hill. We're not pushing to break away. So as we approach the second hill, I try to move up a bit to the front of the group because this is a really punchy one. It's about 300 meters long and the incline, the gradient goes up to 9%. So I produce some big wattage to stay up front in the group and maybe split the group. So yeah, big power numbers. The incline decreases a bit, but then it ramps up again. So there's a second little incline. And yeah, let's see what it does to the group. There's a few guys up front, but I'm able to close the gap. There's a few people straggling behind, but yeah, I'm not pushing it at the moment because yeah, it took a bit out of me this big surge. I tried to recover a little bit on the downhill parts, but yeah, I didn't manage to really break up the peloton. There's two or three guys who are left behind, so we're preparing for the final hill, which starts in yeah, about 400 or 500 meters. So there's not really much time to rest. One corner to the left, and then just around the next corner, the incline starts. So I try to make my way a bit more to the front, but I'm a little bit too late. And I wait a little bit longer before I push some big wattage because the incline isn't that big here. It's yeah, somewhere in this corner, then the incline really starts. So I use my drafting boost to gain some more speed, and then I try to push some wattage. This moment I'm still a bit in the front, but then all the guys drop their arrow boosts, and yeah, I'm not able to compete the arrow boosts. Also, my legs are still a little bit toast from the castle hill. So yeah, I'm unable to keep up with all these people. So I crossed the line in ninth position overall. Um, I'm happy I've got a top 10, but yeah, I feel maybe I've could have gotten a little bit higher up the ranking. My sprint wasn't all out. It was hard to gauge where to start and where to push. So yeah, maybe I can try it again one last time this weekend. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you learned something about the Rolling Highlands track. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to record some more of my Zwift races to tell you about the course and tell you about my progress. See you around. Bye bye.